All right, welcome to the 1977 CJ5 build out. The goal of this build out is not to build a trail-worthy four-wheeling rig. Might see a little bit of four-wheeling, just some minor stuff going through the deserts and so on. But the goal of this vehicle is to build a around-town little commuter car or commuter Jeep. The reason behind that is wife got a brand new Tesla and we have a dog taken to the beach here in San Diego. Don't want the dog in the back of the brand new Tesla. I drive a big old diesel truck. It's a pain in the ass to park here. Also, gas is through the roof. So we're going to transform this into a little grocery getter here in San Diego. So I already have a desert race truck, so don't need to build a full-blown desert vehicle to go have fun in. So yeah, let me take you around this vehicle and show you the idea behind it. The Jeep pretty much came complete. Runs like crap, so we're gonna have to figure that out. We'll talk more about that later, but it's a complete running CJ5. So let's start here in the front. So it did come with a tow bar. We're gonna get rid of that, ditch that. Everything is stock here in the front. We'll build our own little custom bumper in the front and so on. It's got 31s on it right now on 15-inch rims. So let me take you underneath the hood. Got the hood popped open. Let's see what we've got underneath here. It is your inline 6. Looks like it's got a brand new mechanical fuel pump. It's got the Clifford headers, valve cover, and I believe it's a Clifford exhaust as well, which is kind of a negative thing for me because I've got to change this back to a CARB California smog compliant vehicle. So I think we're going to swap out this carburetor here for a Howell EFI smog certified, California smog certified fuel injection. Wiring, kind of a mess, not too bad, but it runs. I was able to pull it on the trailer and then pull it off. So this is it. So not going to do too much here, just get it running solid, make it compliant and so on. Let's check out the interior. So kind of stock. The truck's actually been painted. Original color seems like it was yellow. Now it's just kind of cool blue, which I like. It's got an aftermarket steering wheel, which we're going to ditch. The dash has been kind of messed with. The guy decided to pull out all the gauges because they weren't working, which is typical on these Jeeps from what I read. Then he did a clusterfuck of a mess with the wiring, so we're going to have to tackle that. Maybe use one of those painless wiring systems. Supposedly the four-wheel drive works. We're going to find out. It's got the stock seats. We're going to swap those out with the plastic buggy seats. The reason behind that is I can just hose it off when we go to the beach or whatever. And hose it off and have them nice and clean. In the back here, we're going to get rid of the bench seat because that's going to be where the dog is going to be at. So the most fucked up thing about this Jeep that I found so far, so it's got the original roll cage right here, I believe. It's also got the two center supports right there with a piece of sheet metal. Then the jackass decided to add something in the rear. And I noticed this earlier, and this was underneath all this padding, which I couldn't see when I originally bought it. So I thought it was at aftermarket and so on, bolt on or whatever. And it turns out this jackass did some kind of sleeving with bolts, bolted the seatbelt. Oh, look at this fine fabrication right here. Oh my God. Look at that. So I'm guessing that they probably took this from here and that probably went to there for some reason. Not sure why they did that. Compromised the support structure. So we're going to get rid of all this and probably just keep the single roll cage in the front. Maybe we'll add something in the back, not sure. So moving in the back, we do have some kind of carrier in the back. We're going to ditch that. Don't need it. Not sure about the spare tire and what we're going to do about that yet. So we'll figure that out, but the main thing is to be able to get the dog in and out nice and easy. So got everything. Looks like stock suspension. He said he did put some lockers in here. Who knows about that? Little side step here and so on. So yeah, let's get rid of some of this padding and then see what we can do about getting rid of this old piece of hacked together roll cage in the back. All right, let's look at this fuckery of a fucking roll cage gone wrong. Okay, so it looks like originally that's where it's supposed to mount. Then they cut these guys, which came from here, and then they were welded over there. So it was a perfectly fucking good cage, but these assholes decided to fucking make it wider for some reason. Maybe because it was hitting the heads of the rear passengers or something like that. But holy shit, self-tapping screws? What the fuck? Ghetto. You know, and look at this. That's what you call a real sleeve job. Go fuck me. Holy shit. So yeah, this has got to go. So it was a solid cage. Looks like there might also be some holes here and there, which we're gonna have to weld up. No big deal. Not sure what we're gonna do about this plate here. Bunch of holes, which we'll weld up no problem. And then coming up here, it looks like they also shifted the cage forward. That way you have more of an entryway right there. Then they repositioned the plate. I guess the original holes are right here, and then you can see underneath here, my finger could fit underneath. Then they took the exterior part of the roll cage and then just shifted it forward. Like the idea, just don't like how it was executed. So we'll see if we can fix that right there. Got all the padding off. Now let's see what we can do about taking this thing apart and see what's going on here and maybe just get rid of it. So let's see. Self-tapping screws for a roll cage. Genius. New custom notching. Look at that. Flattened out with a mega hammer and the self-tapper. Yeah. So the previous owner seems like he had passengers in the rear. Thank God he'd never donkeyed and rolled, tipped, or whatever, because people in the back wouldn't be a good sign. Custom spacer for the seatbelt. Hey, maybe the cage would have held up, but I don't know about the seatbelt holding them. Yeah. What is this? Oh, I see what these jackasses did. So this lived here and it was much lower. So yeah, it was much lower in the rear. That's why they hacked it up and did this fine job. Not sure what I'm gonna do, if I'm just gonna keep it to like a little standard roll cage, or if I'm gonna mess with this here in the rear, or just leave it. So after all, gonna rethink about getting rid of this rack here. Definitely want to have a spare tire, so I think I'm gonna keep it. It's already mounted, but we're gonna get rid of the seat. So let's take a look at this fuckery here. All right, it's the locking mechanism. Fancy. Look at that. Seat doesn't even look like it's level or even in the car. Yeah, definitely not gonna work. So we're gonna 86 that, the seat belts, and then possibly get rid of those, and we'll go from there. Got the rear seats, unbolt them. Let's get them out of here. Bam, out. Last thing we got left here is the seat belts. Let's yank those out. All right, got the seat belts out. Wasn't too bad. We're gonna ditch these, toss them in the trash. They're complete garbage. As you can see, now we've got ample space for our dog to chill when we take him to the beach or go hiking the local trails here in San Diego. So we're probably gonna re-bedline the whole interior floorboard and sidewalls and so on with some kind of bed liner, and then patch up some holes. Those two seats, as I said, are gonna go. So we're gonna keep the driver's seat for time being, and then probably ditch that one. But that's going to wrap it up for the first episode of the 1977 CJ5 Build Out, the grocery getter.